Okay, I think we're live. We are live. This is the ASP.NET Community Stand-Up again for this week. I'm Damien Edwards. We've got John on the line as usual, and Scott is MIA. I'm not quite sure where he is. We've started without him, but he assures me he'll be here shortly. Wait, what's... Oh, hey! There's creepy Scott right behind me on my shoulder. Oh, crashing into me. That's... Oh, crashing into the wall. Don't you love modern technology? Hello, Scott. Okay. You gonna join us like this today?
I am a tiny, tiny man on an iPad on a stick.
Feel free to come closer. There we go.
It's not creepy at all. I'll stand right here.
This is fantastic. All right, John. Do we have anything from the community to talk about?
We do. Just a second. Here, let me pop over to that screen. And all right. So first of all, we've got introducing ASP.NET 5, big post from Scott Guthrie. So this runs through all the great features and stuff. A lot of things people here are familiar with if you've been following this, but good overview. Release announcement on the web dev blog here. So this is cool. This is what's in the CTP6 that just went out yesterday. And this is an important one. This is talking about moving some of the templates that were in File New Project from Visual Studio. These are the old kind of 2012 era templates. These have been moved into an extension for Visual Studio 2015. So this shows how to get those ones. Finally, I've been just appreciating this. This is from Jerry Pelser. This is ASP.NET Weekly, and he's just got a mailing list. And just, not a huge amount, but just every week I'm getting some good content out of that. And finally, a good post from K. Scott Allen on using JSPM with Visual Studio 2015. So how he set that up. So he's been using...
What is JSPM? PM?
So it's similar to NPM. But you can do more with it. You can so it sounds like, and I'm not an expert here, but it's similar to the way that Grunt and Gulp are related. Similar in that way. So JSPM allows you to do a lot more kind of configuration stuff.
Okay, I think I heard about this recently in the context of is it Aurelia, the new Rob Eisenberg? Exactly. I think he uses JSPM for Aurelia's dev as well. So okay.
I think that's true. I think it's package management plus dependency management. So like package loading and AMP.
Yeah, I think it figures it out based on whether you're using just ES6 modules or AMD or ComJS or a whole bunch of other stuff. It just kind of takes care of it for you. Okay.
Exactly right. Yep. So cool. All right, that's it for me.
Okay. Well, I can talk a little bit about what's been going on here. Obviously, we just had a big release, Beta 3/CTP. Is it 6? Am I saying? Is that right? CTP6?
Yep.
CTP6 is out. John pointed to the Scott Goo blog post, so by all means, read that. Install it. Let us know what you think. Give us any feedback you want through the usual channels. We've already moved on. Obviously, we're moving on we're working on the next release. So I've been working on looking at, I think I talked about this last time, internationalization and localization. For people who are interested in what our current plan of record is for 1.0, and no guarantee that we'll get it all done, but that we have a kind of a functional prototype available up on my GitHub repository. So if you go to my GitHub repository and look for the I18N starter web repo, I basically have a copy of the file new ASP.NET 5 project template, which I've then converted to be internationalized/localized using proposed API set that we're working towards. So,
and this will work on Beta 3?
That's a great question. I have no idea if it works on Beta 3.
You checked it in 4 days ago.
Yeah, so I wouldn't rely on it actually running on your copy of Visual Studio. It's more of a it's more of a have a look at the design, look at how the API is structured, look at how it affects views versus controllers, how the resx files are managed. We have a new abstraction called iLocalizer, which means that you can plug in a completely different resource management system other than the .NET standard resource manager, which is what we have right now, but it's wrapped in this new abstraction, so it's replaceable. And there's no it's not necessary to manage resource string keys. Like, we just use the default string as the key for all your localized strings, which makes the views and wherever you're looking up localized strings, I think, a lot nicer, because you can still see what the default string, in my case English, looks like. It doesn't look like your view is now just a wall of static property names. So that's kind of nice. So, have a look at that. By all means, add, comment on it on that, or you can go on to perhaps the home repo at github.com/aspinet/home, and feel free to create an issue there and log feedback about our proposed stuff. That we haven't really got a good mechanism in place yet, honestly, for these type of quasi designs, prototypes that are cross-cutting across everything. So I'm open to feedback on what people think is a good way. We could just create issues on the home repo for these type of things, and then just have long discussion threads using GitHub issues. We could create a wiki on there and put design notes up there in Markdown. I'm not quite.
A pull request to yourself, and we could all comment on it.
Yeah, we could certainly do that. We could do pull requests to the home repo and do things like that. If we have sample code, I'm not really sure what the best approach is yet. But for now, I've got it up on my repo as a separate project, and you can have a look and see how we go. As I said, we're not committing to doing all of that for 1.0 just yet. We will certainly do a bare minimum, such that existing libraries that you pull in that have localized resources work. That's kind of our min bar, and then we'll gradually add on more functionality on top of that as we move forward. So that's been happening.
I had a quick question on that. I just kind of scanned through. I didn't see anything in there with JavaScript localization. This is all focused on Vue localization at this point, right?
Yeah. No, well, it's all focused on .NET side, but the only thing that we have considered is that in order for working with localized strings to be possible in the client, we have a necessary function, which is that you need to be able to get all of the localized strings for one culture. And so there is an example of that in the project. There's a link on the bottom of the view that says get all resources for this view, and that makes a API call and gets you back a JSON payload for all things for the view. Now, I also do have French resources in there. I actually translated most of the starter site into French so that you can see if you go, put a culture equals FR on the query string, then it'll switch it into French for you, assuming you actually get it to run. And then you'll be able to click that link and you'll get all the French resources as a string. So yes, this system is all about server-side, except with the added provision that we need to be able to support sending down a full set of localized strings to the client. And that's where kind of the server-side responsibility ends, and then it's up to the client to figure out how they want to do localization in JavaScript, whether you use jQuery globalized library, or if you're using Angular, you use their localization support, or really, that's dictated by whatever client-side framework you're using.
Great. Okay.
Good question. Today, the team is doing what we call like a planning showcase. So because we've got full steam ahead on the next release now, the whole team is coming together this afternoon, and we're kind of going to run through and do some demos of what we're planning to build or are currently building for the next release, which is kind of cool, kind of our next release planning showcase. So we're going to be doing that today. And as always, if people really want to be on the bleeding edge of what we're doing, obviously watch this thing every week, but also go on the GitHub repositories, look at the issues that are being created in the next milestone. I mean, all the milestones are open. We don't really hide them. Because that's open source and we're doing all this in the open. So go and have a look at the issues we're creating, look at the features, the enhancements, and the bugs that are currently scheduled to be worked on, and you can give feedback there, and you can get a heads up onto what we're currently working on day to day. And as I've said before, we are doing our work in those repositories. There is no other repo. We are doing live work in those repos. We send pull requests for our own code reviews publicly on those repos, so people can really keep up with the day-to-day of what we're building, if that's if that floats their boat. Last thing I wanted to chat about was perhaps look at all the talks that we've got planned, and spring is coming along, so the spring conference season is starting soon, and given the big releases that we're doing, we're going to be talking a lot about this all over the world. So I've got a bit of a rundown here. I think March 6th we've got MVP Mix, which was formerly the Dallas Day of .NET. Scott, who's going to be the Dallas Day, MVP Mix?
I will be there, and Jeff Fritz will be there.
Okay. Cool. March 18th, 19th, we have .NET Conf online, which we've done the last couple of years, I think now. So you'll just be able to watch that on what medium is that? Is that Channel 9 or is that Google Hangouts? Or?
What we're going to do is the first day will be Microsoft employees sitting in Channel 9 live, and you're touching my face for.
I need to mute you.
Touch my face.
I wish I had that.
Here, let me turn my volume down.
There we go.
How's that? Is that better?
No, it's basically the same.
How about that?
That's better. Perfect.
Okay. So the first day will be Microsoft employees in the Channel 9 studios, and the second day will be all community members from around the world doing Skype into Channel 9, and then we'll, I don't know, mess with the feed, and then...
Oh, wow. That sounds great.
It's going to be complicated. Me and Javier Lozano are going to come up to Seattle to coordinate.
Okay, sounds great.
And we're going to have some pretty cool community people, so you should check it out.
Yeah, I will do. That sounds great. March 25th, we have, I think Galloway is doing an MVA, Microsoft Virtual Academy on MVC6.
Yep. Yeah, with Christopher Harrison, we're going to be doing that.
Is that a full day or is that a half day? Or
Full day.
Wow, fantastic. Okay. So that'll be worth signing. Can people sign up for that right now?
No, I don't actually. As I'm saying this, I'm like, did we announce it yet? I'm not sure if it's actually published yet, so
it is
it'll
now.
be very soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next one I've got here is April 12th to 14th is .NET Fringe in Portland. I believe, Scott, you're going to be there.
Yeah, me and Phil Hack and Troy Howard and just a whole pile of cool people. And you can check it out at .NETFringe.org. And we're still doing a call for papers. So if you want to speak, check that out.
Okay. April 24th, my boss, Scott Hunter, and I will be at CodeMania in New Zealand. We're going to be giving a half-day workshop the day before, and then I'll be giving a lock note at CodeMania on the Friday. May 18th, we've got, I think it's Angle Brackets in Arizona. Is that right, Scott?
Yeah, they're in Scottsdale, and we've got a bunch of cool people coming down. I'll be there, and also Saran Yatbarak from Code Newbie will be there, and you can check it all out at anglebrackets.org.
Excellent. And the last one I have here leading up to the mid-year is NDC Oslo, one of probably my favorite conference, in June. And this year, John and I will be giving a 2-day workshop on all things ASP.NET 5, so that should be fun. And then we'll both be giving a couple of talks during the conference as well on various topics. So,
So one thing can we maybe ask? People have been asking in Jabber, people have been asking online. There's an issue up on GitHub issue 236, asking about Visual Basic support, and it has been closed. Closed by Scott Hunter. It says ASP.NET 5 is C# only at this point and will not change before we RTM. But we plan to have extensibility points so that you could have like a package and maybe add F# or VB later. That's pretty much the answer, right? That
is the answer right now. So I know that there has been some community work in doing things like lighting up F# support, which is, it's really important if we say that there are extensibility points that people actually go and exercise those early. So we're very grateful to those members who have been doing that. But as far as the team is concerned, we are only shipping C# support for 1.0.
Okay.
And that's kind of it, yeah. All right, so that's all I had today.
All right, I think we're good then.
We're good.
Okay, let's do the dramatic zoom out.
Oh, okay. I remember. You ready?
Okay. Dun, dun, dun.
Need to find a way, subtle way. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's going.
Bye, everyone.